Hello, this is Kayhan. Welcome to episode 31st of my life journey. In the previous episode, I started this topic of what we should do when things around us in our environment, don't feel like aligned so much with our path, with our, purpose and what we have started and what we are trying to achieve. Mostly when we see some setbacks from people and when everything like inside may feel okay and right, but from outside we don't get constructive feedback or we don't see others are not aligned with us. So in this episode I want to continue from that place where we left off. And one thing that I talked about with my life coach was that uh, I'm just experiencing something a little strange, and that is I feel this harmony. I'm feeling that things are going well in terms of learning new things, using my time to dedicate it to the project or my long-term career or the tasks that I approved of, uh, responsibilities I took, all of these new things that came to my life in the like past few months, 6 or 7 months. But the thing is, things around me, mostly about people, they don't, they really feel like they want to, they are against me in some way. And I'm like, why is that? Why are people come against you when you really are growing? And that was very weird because I felt like once I start to grow and like see some improvements and like really see some accomplishments, reach them, others are gonna like like it and support me for that. And what my life coach told me, he told me that, these difficulties and all people in the world being against you still doesn't mean you're doing wrong. You're not on the right path because people might not have your best interest at heart. Even those who you thought they have, you know, then they turn against you at some critical times in your life. You know, and this is important to keep in mind that maybe you thought in a wrong way whole your life, so sometimes a path can hurt and you know really bother you in some ways and still be the right thing to do, right path to go. And you just need more courage, more consistency, you know disconnecting yourself from some of thoughts, some of noises, some of sounds that may come to your head, or those that you really hear from other people. You know, I thought that so many of people in my life are going to be really stand behind my back and, you know, support me for what I'm doing, for my decisions. Maybe I said I don't have time to spend with them like before. I don't want to, I don't, you know, go and comply with their past mindsets that they don't suit me anymore. And they all like uh, really showed me their true selves. So um, I think these are important lessons that I'm taking in my life. Even even in your group, like in your team, in your workplace, you see other people are treating you different. They are like, it's like they act like there's something wrong with you, and they want to pull you in their type of mindset and energy, or somehow tell you that no, you're doing the wrong thing. Because everybody, for example, uh, is having a certain mindset, you have to have that mindset as well. But this is not the thing. This is something to actually uh, be aware of and be cautious and be conscious about. So when we see changes, when we see these hardships, this means something inside us. When we suffer from them, this means something inside us must change, because we don't learn from winning. We actually learn from losing some things, from suffering, you know, and that's the case most of the times. SAR gave me some very wise information about the current state and situation I'm in. He told me that first of all, you need to know nothing, no difficulty lasts forever. It will finish at some point. It may change its look and, the way it is, but the thing is, it's totally natural to for your mind to be noisy and not as calm as it should be when you're under heavy pressure. Because as you take more responsibilities, as you grow, as you get older, you know, you enter new levels of hardship. This is the way life is. You may get a promotion in your job, in your, the type of tasks you're assigned to, or anything. And when you feel that type of, things get overwhelming, you should not blame your practices, the meditation or breathing exercises, silence of mind practice that we talked about. You should not blame them. They are doing their job. It's just that you're going through new levels of challenges that your body mind is not used to. And you need to just, keep it going until your mind becomes steel like, you know. And there is a point that you reach where those things that used to disturb you don't bother you anymore. They don't have that power over you. Really, let me tell you one real example in life. I was somebody who got disturbed and, distracted because of, sound and noises around me when I wanted to study or focus on something. Whenever people were talking around me, I couldn't focus anymore. And I had this problem that, oh, please be silent, don't talk around me. I'm studying, I'm focusing. Then after some time, now it's like I don't care. I mean, I prefer to have a silent place and very calm uh, environment when I want to focus. But honestly, I just now, whenever people are talking around me or I'm not in a very good environment, I just keep it going. I do my thing. And that shows me that, yeah, my mind is stronger now. It doesn't care anymore. It doesn't get bothered by those things anymore. And the challenges are changed. And this is going to be like that. The challenges are just going to change and change their face, the way they look. So this is me who have to be centered. And this is you who have to keep being centered and not shake. Another very strong thing that SAR taught me was something that I had it in the back of my head. He just, brought me into the center of my attention. It's a very strong lesson. And that is, people on earth in this world either get better or get worse. There's no other way around it. There's no stationary state, let's say. You know, the only thing that changes is the speed at which you change. You become better or you go down, you get worse. Does that make sense? Even when people reach a certain level, certain success, and they feel like, okay, I achieved, I'm there, this is what I wanted, period. That's when the decline starts. That's when the the degradation begins. People, the world may give us some type of certificate, maybe medal. We might get some recognition, become famous for that thing, but we don't stay at that level. We either get better or get worse. Doesn't matter how great that level or stage is. So should be very cautious, careful about this thing. Also, he told me that the world naturally tends toward more chaos. Yeah, we might make some new structures and rules and obligations to control it, to bring balance to life, to society. But we are, a bit slower than these changes that happen in world, in society. So it's like people next year are a bit more uncertain, generally, on average, I'm saying. Maybe got worse a bit in terms of their inner state, their mindset, the way they look at world. So these are all signs. These are all things that we need to keep in mind when just time goes and goes by. And we sometimes think like, oh, did things get worse? So the lesson for me is this. I should not expect people to understand me, see the way I see, understand the changes taking place inside me, all these things that I'm going through. And even so many of those who understand you're changing inside, they're gonna come against you. And that is natural. That is normal. Let's normalize it. We just need to learn how to cope with it and still act the right way. If someone is bothering you, you can ignore them gently. We have to learn how to gently ignore things, ignore people. If they are making more trouble, we have to ignore them stronger. If they're making more trouble, we have to push them away some way, in the right way, you know, not by being rude or like, no, that's not our path or the way we want. The way we want is like, okay, I see where we are coming from, but that's not me. That's not what I want. Thanks for your information. Goodbye. So, something like that, you know. If that person is, at your level or lower than your level, if they are higher than your level, or if they're someone who you depend on, you rely on, you know, you can't like ignore them. There's a solution for that too. You have to, very politely explain things, try to express yourself, and just make sure that you are clarifying things and asking for their understanding. And the rest, just let it go. And for the rest, life will happen. Life will, I can say, knows how to deal with these things. You may, in short term, get bothered by someone who is higher than you, and you rely on, but they will understand in the end. If they resist it, life will show them, and that hurts more. And we are just here to experience things and uh, learn more things and grow or degrade. So trusting the path for me does not mean that it's going to feel comfortable all the time, feel good. No, it means that even when it gets uncomfortable, I have to just see that it's shaping me, that I'm going through new levels of difficulty and challenges and I have to, it's going to be like this. It's going to get harder and harder, and I'm going to get stronger and stronger. No other way around it. So, in one sentence, this is what I learned: a difficult path is not automatically a wrong path. That difficulty might be exactly the training that we need as we are playing for the long term game, not the short term. In short term, things are like this. Things are not going to be very pleasant, but in long term, things will, you know, play out and turn out as we want. And we hopefully can see all the things that we went through and how they shaped us, what lessons they taught us, and we will understand the reason behind all of these difficulties. So I hope I could transfer and explain these lessons as best as I could, and you got something out of them. Take care. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.